Yet the number of widows who actually married remained low. Even though laws came, but in the society people was not ready to accept. So the number of the ladies, if 100 ladies becoming widows, one or two lady used to get remarried. Even still we can see like that situation in our society. Those who married were not easily accepted in the society, and conservative groups continued to oppose the new law. That's why very few people, still we can see we are having the permission, but very few widows they are ready to get remarried. And here in South India little bit better. If you are observing in Karnataka onwards upside, or in MP, UP, Bihar area, it is worst. Girls begin going to school. Many of the reformers felt that education for girls was necessary in order to improve the condition of women. Vidyasagar in Calcutta and many other reformers in Bombay set up schools for girls, and we can see many reformers they are thinking like that. If we want to make changes in the women's life, what we want to do, we want to give education to them. For that, Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar he started schools in Calcutta, and some of the reformers they set up schools in Bombay also. When the first schools were opened in the mid 19th century, many people were afraid of them. They feared that school could take girls away from home, prevent them from doing their domestic duties. Moreover, girls had to travel through public places in order to reach school. Many people felt that this would have corrupting influence on them. They felt that girls should stay at home, stay away from the public places. Therefore, throughout the 19th century, most educated women taught at home by liberal husbands and fathers. Even though many reformers they started schools, but many parents was not ready to send them out. So the liberal husbands and fathers they taught their girl children at home itself. Then sometimes women taught themselves. Do you remember what you read about Rajsundari Devi? We studied about our civics textbook, and she was one of those who secretly learned to read and write and flickering lights of candles at night. And in the later part of the century, schools for girls were established in Arya Samaj in Punjab and Jyotirao Phule in Maharashtra. They are some of the things what they are doing. They are starting separate schools for girls because the parents are not ready to send to the public places. In aristocratic Muslim households in North India, women learned to read in the Quran in Arabic. They were taught by women who came home to teach. And some reformers such as Mumtaz Ali reinterpreted verses from Quran to argue for women's education. The first Urdu novel began to be written from the late 19th century. Amongst other things, these were meant to encourage women to read and about religion and domestic management in the language they could understand. So we can see not only the reformers from gents side, even ladies, those who become educated, they are also starting the movement, or they are also starting the work for the reforming the ladies. Women write about women. From the early 20th century, Muslim women like Begums of Bhopal played a notable role in promoting education among women. They founded a primary school for girls at Aligarh, and another remarkable woman, Begum Ruqayya Shekhawat Hossain, started school for Muslim girls in Patna and Calcutta. She was a fearless critic of conservative ideas, arguing that religious leaders of every faith accorded an inferior place to women. In every religion, the same condition, they are giving the inferior place to ladies, like that who said Begum Ruqayya Shekhawat. Then by 1880s, Indian women began to enter universities. In which year? 1880s. Some of them trained to be doctors, some become teachers. many women began to write and publish their critical views on the place of women in the society. And ladies started to write. What they are writing? They are writing about the critical view of the situation or the sufferings of the ladies in the society. Tarabai Shinde, a woman educated at home at Pune, published a book, Stri Purusha Stulna, a comparison between women and men, please underline, criticizing the social differences between men and women. Pandita Ramabai, a great scholar of Sanskrit, felt that Hinduism was oppressive towards women and wrote a book about the miserable lives of upper caste Hindu women. She found a widow's home at Pune to provide shelter to widows who had been treated badly by their husbands and husbands' relatives. And after the banning of the sati, the ladies, widows, they are living with their husbands' home. They were suffering. So Pandita Ramabai, she is starting a what we can say center for the or home for the widows, because they were suffering. Here women were trained so that they could support themselves economically. So she used to give the training, stitching, weaving, like that training to the ladies, so they can support themselves in economically also. Needless to say, all this more than alarmed the Orthodox. For instance, many Hindu nationalists felt that Hindu women were adopting Western way and this would corrupt Hindu culture and erode family values. Orthodox Muslims were also worried about the impact of these changes. Ladies started to say about themselves, started to write themselves. Then the Orthodox families or the conservatives, they started to think like that they are going to make overthrow the family values or the values of the society, and they are going to adopt the Western style, like that they are thinking. As you can see, by the end of 19th century, women themselves were actively working for women reform. That especially for women and children reformation, for that purpose they are working. They wrote books, edited magazines, founded schools and training centers, and set up women's associations. How they started to work for reform? Please underline: writing books, edited magazines, founded schools and training centers, and set up women's association. From the early 20th century, they founded political pressure groups to push through laws for the female suffrage, means getting the voting power, and the better health care and education for women. And they are starting the pressure group for what purpose? To get the better education, better health, and the equality in the politics also. Then some of them joined various kinds of nationalist and socialist movement from 1920. Some of them, they are joining in the socialist and nationalist movement also. In 20th century, leaders such as Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose lent their support to demand for the greater equality and freedom for women. And 20th century, we can see after the independent war from 1910 onwards, or 20th century starting onwards, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, like that people, they started to ask for the supporting the women's equality and freedom. The nationalist leaders promises that there would be full suffrage for all men and women after independence. When India becoming independent, that time all of us will get, means without discriminating any gender, all will get the more freedom, and they will get voting power also. However, till then they asked women to concentrate on the anti-British struggle. Up to that time, what they want to do, all the not only ladies, all of us want to work anti-British struggle. Then law against child marriage. With the growth of women's organization and writing of these issues, the momentum of the reform gained strength. People challenged another established custom, that child marriage, and there were a number of Indian legislations of the Central Legislative Assembly who fought to make the law preventing child marriage. In 1929, the Child Marriage Restraint Act was passed without the kind of bitter debates and struggle that earlier law has been. Please underline in which date, which year? 1929. What? Child Remarriage Restraint Act. And first Sati banned in 1829. Then after 100 years we are getting the Child Marriage Prohibition Act. Then according to Act, no man below age of 18 and women below the age of 16 could marry. At that time they given the age 18 and 16. Now again the discussions are going on. The marriage age want to increase, especially ladies age instead of 18 want to make into 21 like that. Subsequently this limit was raised to 21 for men and 18 for women. Okay, we'll continue in next video.